episode 211.
Yay! I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy. Welcome back to the show. And if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking us out. I try to switch it up every week. You never know.
And if you're a continuing viewer, thanks for coming back each week. We really do appreciate it. There's a reason why you do that segment and not me.
Yeah, because
I can't talk. I'm sorry. I feel like I have something in my eye this week. I apologize.
Probably cat hair.
No, it was in there before, so I can't blame the cats. Darn it. Which I didn't take my allergy meds.
That might be why you feel that way.
So, just a couple of reminders. We are drawing a prize at the end of this episode for the May Knit Along Crochet Along, which was green, anything green.
Yeah.
And we have a new knit along for June, and we've decided that we are doing socks. Surprise! Any socks, big, small, extra large.
And I would like to point out that this coordinates or runs along at the same time as Sock Bunny's big sock extravaganza thing. So there's an opportunity.
It runs along I think, tortoise sock. There's a tortoise sock out there.
There's a lot of sock
There's
stuff
a lot of
going
sock
on.
stuff out there. So please, by all means, post.
You can post in our thread even if you're doing the other ones.
And there's certain, like, I know I used to be an avid member of Sock Knitters Anonymous, and they do a sock each month, and it had to be at least 3 inches to qualify. That doesn't need it to be here, because it can be any short sock.
Be any sock.
It could be a yoga sock that's open. Is that fair enough?
It could be a miniature sock. Like a baby sock?
A baby sock, but not one of those keychain socks.
No, but like a small, it could be like kids
something
socks,
that actually is going to be worn.
Right. Yeah, like baby socks.
Yeah, but I'm saying not one of those keychain socks.
Right. Well, yeah, that would be kind of sketchy, but like a baby sock.
Yeah. So socks of any color, shapes, or sizes.
Yeah. And
that will run until the end of June, and then we'll pick a winner for that.
Yay.
So, is that all we have for shout-outs?
Yeah. We don't have any contests to announce this week.
No, we don't.
Weird.
Huh. Speaking of contest, everything that people have gotten back to me for addresses have been mailed out. If for some reason you feel that that's not the case, contact me.
Let us know.
Yes, because I believe, caught up with everybody that has contacted me. There have been people who have not contacted us for mailing addresses.
If you don't contact us, we wait a certain period of time and then we throw the prize back into the box.
Yeah, the only time we don't do that is when we randomly draw.
Yeah, we'll let you know if we randomly draw a prize because you may not know to tune in.
Yeah. So, on that note, on the dance card.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 things I'm actually working on, believe it or not. I know. So, I am doing a generic toe up. So, I tried to do the rounded toe that I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
It came out nice. It kind of rounded. It's a generic toe up with fixation yarn. That's Cascade fixation yarn. It's an elastic 50-gram balls. I got a whole bunch of them, if you guys remember. My local friend gave me, it has to be 50.
Yeah, a lot of them.
A lot of them. So I tried the rounded up toe. This, I think, there's a little bit of a square edge here, but I think that's more to do with the yarn. And I'll show you in a little bit. Is it worth it? I'm not exactly sure.
I like my standard pointy toe.
It's not much different. Yours has an angle. Different. So the rounded toe, it's free. And I'll tell you exactly whose rounded toe I used.
Oh, I'll write that down.
Because there was an actual person on that. I gotta find the sock. So, the rounded toe I use is Rounded Toe Chart and Written Instructions by Tanya Murray.
How do you spell Tanya?
T-A-N-J-A.
Tanja
Murray.
Tanya Murray.
And her sock looks really great. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong.
Well, maybe after you block it, it smooths
out.
Or
I don't know. Maybe again in this yarn it's really not worth it.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. So this is a toe up sock. I'm gonna do fish lips kiss heel, and a small cuff. I'm making ankle socks out of these. My goal, and I'm going to make more of these, is so that I can wear socks all year round. Yeah, handmade socks all year round. Like I said, I have 50 skeins of these. I don't know if I'll be doing 50 pairs, but
you could.
I could. Although I don't know. I may need scraps here and there. So
one of these socks may have like a trim on the edge.
Yeah.
A different color.
It's a good thing I didn't do what I was planning on doing. So I finished one of these.
Yeah.
And I was going to do, you know how this is a short, I'll show you, but it's a short sock. It's an ankle sock. So I was going to try and do this part of it a little bit bigger.
Oh, yeah. Like
I would have definitely not had enough because we waited on her scale.
On my fancy new scale.
And this sock weighs exactly 25 grams.
Yes.
And they come in 50-gram balls. I think this portion for my foot is slightly long, but I need it that way because I don't want to worry about my sock falling down.
Like sucking into your shoe.
Yeah.
I hate that.
So I have this on the needles. This took me less than 24 hours to do. It was really a nice, quick knit. This is also on size 3s. I don't know. You tell me. The other person. It's not
it's
bulletproof.
Stiff, but it's not bulletproof.
So I'm using Addy Turbo lace, I think. That's what I had.
Yeah, those look like lace.
I'm definitely going to invest in more of those cubic needles.
Oh, yeah, you like them.
I really like those.
Good.
I'm using them right now. So my other sock I have on the needle is Josh Reich's Mystik Spiral socks. He asked me to, he asked a bunch of us and I volunteered to
test knit.
Retest it, I guess, is the best way.
He's making some changes.
He's making some changes to the pattern, and he said we could show it, so I'm showing it. So I am using Fiber Nymphs Good and Plenty. Talk about stash dash.
I know.
Or stash diving, I guess is the best way to say. This has got to be at least 4 years old.
It is.
So this is Good and Plenty, and I love it. I was so...
We're going to have matching socks, because I have that pink, black, and white sock from that giveaway.
Oh, yeah, but no, it's going to be completely different, because he has My Little Pink. So this I also did on Josh's pattern. It's a round toe, so it does look slightly different.
Yeah. Compared
to this, and I think it has a lot to do with... This also I increased up to 52. This is 64.
So funny because when I did that pattern, I did not do his... I think the first time I knitted it, I did it the way that he wrote it. And the second time, I was like, using my own toe.
Well,
using my own technique.
He asked if we were to test it to follow the pattern.
No, of course you have to.
Right.
I'm just saying it's funny.
It wasn't bad. The problem is with the rounded toe, with the one that I was using, which is very similar to what he's using, is you're increasing almost every row.
Right. To make it rounded instead of
And then after you increase to a certain stitches, then you start alternating, and then it's different than what I'm used to. And in all honesty, my hands need that resting row.
I just don't.
My thumb,
I don't like that. It's not a good technique for me. Like I did it the first time I knit it. He did increases in a way that I didn't like too, so I powered through that.
The round toe does the same increases. Apparently that's how you... Okay, so the round toe... So going back to this, I did the round toe according to how Tanya.
I just said Tanya because there's the J.
Tanya did it, which is yarn overs.
Right.
And
that's
you
what
knit
he
through the
uses
back.
a yarn over.
And then you knit through the back loop. So this one, I think I started it for 1 or 2, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. So I did knit front and back. That actually isn't a bad toe.
No.
Knit front and back, doing the same number of increases or the same way that they did them. So in Tanya's chart, it's free. You knit one, you make the increase, you knit until the end, then you make the increase. Then the next row is you knit. She did the yarn over, so you knit through the back loop of that yarn over. You knit one, and then you yarn over again. So the increases are stacked.
Yeah, they're staggered even.
Staggered is probably a better way. But this one I did knit front and back. And actually, that looks nice.
I use the, I'm trying to remember that very quirky designer.
Cat Bordy.
Cat Bordy. I use Cat Bordy's
grandmother and mother, yeah.
Those are my favorite increases. And
see, for me to use them, I'd have to, and I'm sure if I used it enough, I wouldn't think about them. But for me, knitting front and back is the easiest for me to do.
That's my go-to increase. So I just use that on mine.
For me, it's my knit front and back. But this, it's a green, maybe a Kelly green.
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
Pretty.
It's a green.
It's not quite as deep as a Kelly. It's a teeny bit blue, but
it's green to me. But
it's a bluish, just a teeny bit blue. It's not quite as.
So, and then this is the Good and Plenty pink, white, and black. And it was funny because I asked opinions. It's only a 3-color striping, and the other way going would be black, pink, and white. So I asked, no, is that how? Not that it really makes a difference because when it's striped, it all comes out, but it's which sequence I wanted to start with. Either way, I would have started with the pink toe because that's how the yarn finished.
Yeah.
On either way. So I'm doing this. This is probably going to be more for at-home knitting and for when I do the spiral, and then I can take it out once the spiral is done. This is going to be just anywhere knitting because this is going to be so easy. It's just basic. I'm not doing anything special with that. But it's funny because my son with his size 11 foot, I said, look what I did. He goes, oh, I like that. I'm like, of course you would, because boys right now are into short socks. But he likes my wool ones too. They're just, he can't wear them right now. So I have to say that's one thing I like about my boys is they're very supportive of my knitting.
Oh yeah, my kids too. They're just used to it.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's the thing. My boys that's all they've known. And my husband not, and your husband probably that's all he's ever known, really, is knitting.
And he grew up with a mother and sister who knit, so we're just like families of people who knit.
Right, yeah, my husband hasn't.
My son is so into the fact that we have a podcast. He tells everybody that my mom has an internet show.
Oh, really?
I think it's so cute.
We have a couple of kids in the neighborhood who are trying to do videos to become famous and rich because if you have the right video on YouTube, you can. Viral, yeah. You can, and I won't deny that, but I'm looking at the kids and I'm like,
why aren't we rich? Like, what went wrong there? We need to do more viral videos of you, like, falling or,
So make sure whenever you're with me, you just constantly have the camera
on you. So on the dance card for me, I am still working on my second.
I have to say, this is probably the longest it's taking you to do a pair.
I'm getting tired of knitting socks.
I'm
burning. Well, this is like my 8th or 9th pair this year, so I'm burning out. But a part of it is everything is slowed down because I feel guilty knitting when I'm not knitting on that freaking sweater. So I just got to get that sweater done, and then I can live again like a normal person. So here is the first pattern row on the Letburn sock. This is the first time I'm knitting on it since last week. I also have to point out that we recorded last week on Thursday, and it is now Tuesday, so there wasn't a lot of time.
No, there wasn't, and we're basing it off of my day off. So it
was like tomorrow I have a hair appointment.
I have a doctor's appointment,
and Thursday I have ballet stuff and karate stuff at the same time in the afternoon.
And I really need to be home for my little guy because my oldest is away.
Yeah, it's just this was a week we had to make it work. We made it work.
We did.
So I did not get very much done on this. This is in Socks That Rock, medium weight. It's a collection, not an obsession. And these are going to be my Rhinebeck socks. And I showed it before, but this is how one sock, I'm on the second sock. This is how the first one looked. And so I'm super excited about these. These will not be worn until the Saturday of Rhinebeck.
And I have the same yarn that I have to knit a sock into, but we have until October, and right now I'm going to try and make ones that I can wear now.
Yeah, I wanted to cast it on because I needed to knit another sock. But
cast
I'm
it
not
out,
in
just
I'm not in a rush
No,
to
I
get
know.
it done because I'm obviously not going to be wearing them anytime soon. Between the fact that they're Rhinebeck socks and the weather anyway. Although
I'm wearing my wool socks today.
It was in the 30s last night, or this morning when Lily got up at 6, it felt like 37. That's what
40. Oh.
It feels like 37.
Yeah, it's been cold.
It's been in the 40s and 30s.
Sunday, I think we had thunder showers come in and it dropped 20 degrees.
Yeah, it was like 1 minute you were outside, the next minute you're like, oh my God, it's freezing.
Mm-hmm.
And it has rained and been cold ever since.
But we need the rain, so I'm not complaining about the rain. We really, really need the rain.
Rain is better than snow.
So Saturday, I took a picture and I posted it on Instagram of the pollen that was floating around. I mean, you could literally see this pollen floating in the sky. Sunday, when I went out grocery shopping, that was raining, and I took a picture. I didn't post it on Instagram. I should have. Took a picture of the pollen in the water.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, die, pollen, die. Not that pollen can live or die, but still, it made me feel better that it was drowning in a puddle.
It's getting washed off of everything.
My God, it was so bad.
Yeah, it's been bad. It's gonna be, and it's because of the weird winter we had.
Yeah.
And it's not good. So anyway, that's my one.
No.
Oh, I have one more. I forgot. I try to forget it.
You can't.
The other thing I have been working on.
It's the sweater that never ends.
Is my HATEofude.
It's such a shame too, because it really
I love
is
the
such
yarn.
a beautiful
So
color.
I've used like a third of this cake of yarn, and I realize now that what I'm calling a repeat is not actually a pattern repeat. These little Y shapes right there, like it's hard to see. Those little, where's my fingers? Right there. Those little, like, things that go down, those are, I'm considering each one of those a repeat. But in reality, if you followed the chart, which I'm totally not following anymore, 2 of those would be a repeat. So I'm just at the end of the second repeat. It's added, if you block it out, it's about 1 inch per repeat. So I need to do 6 more.
So 6 more of those small repeats.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 more full repeats.
Yes.
It's not that bad. Think of it, 3 more full repeats.
It took me 2 days to do this.
I know,
and
but that's because you don't feel the love.
No, I hate knitting it. I hate it so much. I can't even stand it.
But will you actually wear it once it's blocked, or are you going to hate it?
If it fits me, I don't know if it's going to fit me. I'm just going to knit. If I get 6 repeats, 6 or 3 full repeats done, and I still have yarn left, I'm going to keep knitting until I run out of yarn, because it's hard to tell. It blocked out.
Where was it when you blocked it?
It blocked out quite a bit. It was like right here. So now it's like a little bit lower. I need it to be down here. I need like 8 inches, which is 8 of these little, like when it's blocked, you can see each little
thing is about 1 inch.
It's about 1 inch. It adds about 1 inch. So, and you can look at the difference between the blocked part and the squished up part. So I know I can get it longer. I just hate knitting on it. But I worked on it. Every time I was knitting this week. I was not working on my sock. I was doing this because I just want to get it done. This is my extra in case I run out and need some bind-off yarn.
But you still have small skeins.
No, I used all the small skeins.
Oh, you did?
I had
so
all
that
these
is
little
actually your
pieces.
last skein.
This is my last skein.
Oh,
I was
right.
going to order an extra skein, but it's not going to happen.
No, because you don't want to have it sitting there thinking you need to knit with it.
No. It's going to be done when that yarn is done. That is my decision. I'm already making it like 4 extra repeats longer than it needs to be. And that should be enough. By my calculations, that should get it long enough where it doesn't... I just don't want it right under my boobs. I want the front to be down...
Drapey.
Down more so that you're not, like, highlighting the stomach
look at my
area.
chest.
Look at my fat belly. It's just not good. So, yeah, HATEofude is my other thing. And everything else is just put to the side right now. And I am mostly knitting on the sweater because I just want it to get done. I'm hoping by next week it'll be at least off the needles, bound off. It might not be blocked. I don't like to block in this really humid weather because it takes so long for things to dry. which I'll explain in the next section, which is rate your date.
Rate my date. I have a date to rate. First off, I have a half a date. I have this lovely little footie. I showed you enough on that one. And then second, I have my Jaywalker. I don't know what to call them.
Your Jay or your walker.
My walker.
Your half a walker.
My modified Jaywalkers.
I love how you modified that. That's such an easy modification.
It is. And I was looking at other patterns on how I could do the same modification in the sense of just having... So here's my modified Jaywalker. And what Jaywalker is a free pattern by... Grumparina. And what it is it's this decrease. It's an addition and a center decrease around the whole sock. It doesn't give it much give. I just did one repeat, and it's the way it's written, it's 19 stitches. So I did that. I think if I was to change it, I did 72 stitches, which would have fit fine on a size 1.5 needle. If I was to do it again, I might do it 76, which is the smallest. Smallest size for the original Jaywalkers. This is Knitpicks Felici. Knitpicks yarn blank, sock blank that was held double into a sock blank, dyed by somebody.
And then we separated it.
Yeah, we separated it. So if you see, it's a plain vanilla sock on one side, and I did a gusset.
And then it's a nice little chevron.
Yeah, it really is.
It's really pretty. I love it.
And, the second sock is matching. I mirrored them. You'd be so proud of me.
I am so happy about that because it really would have driven me crazy to see them
these
not
are mirrored. That
so the things on the opposite side,
yes.
So it's symmetrical. I like that very much. Yeah, I just cannot get on board with two socks.
I really enjoyed doing this. This was mindless enough, but with a little bit of interest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the stitch is so easy. So I was looking at other stitches that I could do the same thing too.
Yeah.
Other patterns that I could do the same. Because I'm right now all about, I need to have this portable and mindless for when I'm at work. At an offsite, obviously not at the hospital because I'm never
I have to tell you,
there.
This is a side note, but my mother is knitting a pair of socks for my daughter with the swirl-y stripe pattern.
What?
I know.
Your mother's knitting pattern socks? Oh my gosh.
Oh, and she's like, it's really not that bad. I'm like, no, it's a purl that you just keep moving over. It's pretty easy.
We've been trying to get her to do something like that for years.
It's like a huge thing. I love it.
That my mom that's all I have. That's finished a rated date.
So I have still my half sock. Excuse me, which I've already shown you before. So, the other thing that is off the needles this week, which I'm so in love with,
Maggie,
is my Trillian. Try to zoom it this way. Oh, sorry. Maggie,
cat bomb.
Zoom it this way. It's quite large. I have not blocked it yet. I did not block it yet. But it's I love this it drapes so easily, and if you want to make sure it doesn't come undone, you can tie a little knot in it, and this part covers it. It's one of my favorite styles. I have another one that I knit out of handspun, and I wear it constantly. And it'll be a little bit bigger and drapier when I block it because it's pretty.
It'll soften up a little too.
Yeah, well, it's pretty soft. Get away.
Sorry, we're extricating a cat.
But I made one little change. You're supposed to do 4 eyelet holes on this side, but since there are 3 on this side, I always do 3. So I don't know why it's 4. I guess to maybe make it a little bit wider, but I just think it looks weird to have 4 and then, you know what I mean?
I did Trillian. I did it so long ago.
It bothers me, so I didn't do it.
Wasn't symmetrical enough.
It wasn't symmetrical enough. I had this much left of my handspun. I think I might have been able to do one more row, but it would have been close. That is not a lot of yarn. So I feel like I got good yardage. That's one of the things I love about Trillian. I used a scale. And I think the colors are so pretty. And I love how the stripe in the bat like led to this black and striping.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with it.
I can see the stellina too.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, there you go. It's
very it's been flashing.
It's so sparkly. I am a big sucker for sparkly handspun. So, yeah, that's my rate your date.
Yay. It's a pretty rate your date.
And I will show you again after I block it. But like I said, it's been raining. I'm not going to block it while it's raining because it will take forever to dry.
Yes. When I block things, I block them on my bed. I have a king-size bed, and I pin it out, and I put the fan on. Because obviously I can't have it sit there for days because I need to sleep on it. I
block on the carpet in the basement, but in this dampness, it'll be days, and I worry that one of the kids will leave the door open, and then the cat will destroy it. So
I don't blame you.
I have to do it of an evening when I can block it after dinner and then know that it will be done the next day in the morning so that I can take it all apart before the kids come back from school.
Right. No,
That's my usual plan.
My computer room I can block on the floor as long as my husband and my kids don't step on it, which they tend not to, but that's something I know that may take a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, in weather like this, it will take forever.
That's it for your Rate Your Date. I do have a whirlwind romance this week. I finished my Death to Ovarian Cancer on Polyware Silk by CJ Kopek. I got 732 yards out of 4.32 ounces. It's a nice, light fingering weight. It's like a lace size, but because it's so puffy, it'll puff a little bit. So it will work for a fingering weight project. And I am in love with how it came out. I don't like the look of my 2-ply usually. But this time I experimented and I put a little more twist in the ply than I normally do, and I'm really happy with how it came out. So I think I just was underplying before it. I mean, the thing about spinning is there's really no wrong way to do anything. Some people like a highly twisted single with a loose ply. I like a low twist single that's puffy because I use long draw. And I don't like the way that looks with a loose ply. It needs a tighter ply for something like this. And so I did like 2 more treadles than I normally do, and I love how it came out. I'm like, this is the first time I've really loved my 2-ply. I mean, it all knits up and you can't tell the difference anyway, but so I'm excited. I kind of want to make something out of it. It's also the most yardage I've ever gotten out of 4.3 ounces in a 2-ply. It's much thinner than I normally spin, and that is in part because Polyware Silk, this stuff was like so easy to draft. Yeah. Which makes me again say the problem that I had with that other thing, it must have just been that one braid. It's kind of crazy because they were the exact same person, exact same color. I don't know if it just got like...
Well, it could have been the way I stored it compared to the way you store it.
Could have been. It just was...
that was the only fiber I've ever had.
Yeah, it was like horrible to do, and this was a joy. So I really enjoyed that. For anybody who cares about this sort of thing, the grist was 2,710 yards per pound.
The heck is that?
Grist. How many yards per pound? But, you know, I was reading an article about grist when I had to refresh my memory on, I thought it was yards per pound, but then I wasn't sure. I do it so that I can compare it to the weight and quality of my other handspun, but because handspun yarn tends to be denser than factory spun yarn, you can't really use this to compare it to industry standard. Excuse me. Most people do wraps per inch and grist. And even wraps per inch is kind of like it's a little subjective.
Right.
So, and also they were saying that yards per pound can vary. If it's very humid out, your yarn can actually weigh more than when it's drier out. So it's mostly for me to like compare my own work to my own work. So when I've been doing my projects, I've been entering yards per pound on everything. So I'm very happy with it. It came out great. I want to make some kind of a big lacy open, not lacy's the wrong thing, but a big open light scarf thing. So I've been looking at stuff for that. But that's it for Whirlwind Romance. Oh, no. The next thing on the wheel is my Abby Francomont bat.
Ooh,
that's
pretty.
going next. That's going to be really pretty.
How many ounces is that?
It's 60 grams. I don't know. I can tell you how much that is in ounces. I have a converter thing. Let's see. 60 grams is 2.116 ounces. So that'll be a quick spin. I'll probably just chain ply that so that I don't have to bother with 2 bobbins.
Oh, all right. Well, there's not, I mean, it's what, one of those?
It's a bat. It's blended.
Yeah.
It's not going to, I'm going to Z-strip it. I have never Z-stripped a bat before.
Z-strip.
You lay the bat out flat, like you unfold it so that it's like a sheet, a square sheet, and you rip a strip down to almost the end, and then you rip another strip without detaching it so that it's all one piece, and I'm going to spin it that way. I have not used that technique before. I thought this would be a fun way to do it.
Just lost my ball down there.
It flew down.
Like it's staying down there till later.
So yeah, I'm going to do, I'm going to see what it's like. Well, I'll see how it looks. And the end plying is my favorite way to do it. Navajo ply or chain ply. I enjoy doing chain ply, but it's also, I'm lazy. So instead of having to split the fiber, spin 2 separate bobbins, and then ply them together, I can just spin until my bobbin's full and then ply onto another bobbin. It's like a lazy person's technique. There's really no aesthetic reason to keep the colors together on this. You know, it's not a gradient or whatever, but it's such a small amount. I'm just gonna do that. So we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so future dates.
Future dates for me. I'm just going to stick with socks. That's really, honestly, all I'm going to do. Although, it'll depend on my mood, whether it's going to be a footie, a long one, or a worsted weight, because those are the 3 that I'm going to be working on. I found some cotton, I think they're opal balls that are not in my not listed on my stash, but I know I have them.
Yeah.
And I want to knit those, because again, it's all about wearing my socks year round. And
sounds like a good goal.
I got some cotton socks already. I got to find a pair that I had too. I knit a pair of red socks, red and white. And then I bought crochet hooks because I really want to make this.
What is it?
It's a key thingy. That's exactly what it's called, by Martina Bem, I want to say.
How does it work?
Martina Bem. So it's crocheted.
Yeah.
And she just crochets an opening, and she uses one of those. So the key thingy, it's got like a hook here, and it's got the key ring on the bottom.
Right.
So what you're doing is, here's the key thing at the bottom. It's so that when you throw your keys in your bag, they're not going to get tangled up with anything else.
Okay, so you wedge the keys inside during
So
the
when you're not using
times?
them, you just pull this
over them?
Over it.
Yeah.
And when you're using the keys, this just pulls out like, here's your keys.
You just pull them out and use them. Oh, that's a clever idea.
Yeah, it's free. And I've been wanting to do it. I got enough scraps. So I'm going to try. I'm not a very good crochet person. But we'll try.
That's cool.
I judge sometimes the patterns on what other people's products look like. And I don't think it's the pattern.
No.
No. Some of these are not. But my problem is trying to find the perfect key thingy.
Yeah.
And I'm having a hard time. Like, she lists what she uses, And it's $4 key thingy, which is fine. I think it, $4 to the mail. I'm like, yeah, that I'm not going to do. So I just got to find a key
Couldn't you just get a
thingy.
key ring and, like, tie a cord on it?
Could. Well, that's the other thing. I was looking at my kids have made those paracord things.
Exactly, something like that.
So I might look to see if I can find a key connector to connect to one of them.
Just do that.
So
That'd be good.
we'll see. Either that or I can make one. I don't know. I'm just looking around, but I'm going to try that. People have done different things.
My future date is to finish HATEofude. That is my focus right now. I have I want to knit a shawl out of this yarn. I'm excited to knit something out of this because I'm so happy with how it came out. I need to knit a baby sweater for my baby niece because she's going to be here in like a month. And I don't have any. Yeah, she's due in July, so I need to knit that. But I know that I cannot cast anything new on until that sweater is done or it won't ever get done. So I can't do anything except for spinning or HATEofude or maybe knit on the sock if I'm like out and about because the sweater's getting a little too big to take places.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I just have to finish it. I'm going to power through it this week and I want to get it done and off my dance card and so that I can focus on the things that I need to do like the baby stuff for my niece. Because that's really important. I have the yarn. I'm just got to get that done. I want to do the little sweater and booties and potentially a hat if I have enough yarn. I don't know if I will. But she needs that to be given before she's born. And then after she's born, I'm going to give them the little dresses that I want to make, that I want to sew with my sewing machine.
Mm.
I want to make little pillowcase dresses that are coordinating but not identical so that they could each wear their little dress and potentially have their picture taken or you know what I mean, like 2 little cute dresses. And those pillowcase dresses are great because you can keep wearing them, bless you, until quite a while because they can transition from a dress into a top.
Okay.
So it's kind of a cool thing. And I have a pattern. I just need to order the material. I haven't ordered the material yet. I'm kind of nervous about it. I kind of want to take it up with me when I go to Maine.
Oh, right.
And have Lois help me with it. Or maybe just have Lois make it for me. Even if I sewed it, but Lois was like in the room while I sewed it so that I didn't worry that I'm going to do something wrong. it's been a long time since I made clothes on my sewing machine. My sewing machine is so newfangled, I'm afraid of it. It has like all these settings and feet and just, it's crazy. I just get nervous using it. So I'm going to say officially my future date is HATEofude. You will not see, I want you to see that done next week.
Sounds good.
Crushes and Heartbreaks. I wrote it down this time so I wouldn't forget it.
Crushes and Heartbreaks. So my little man went to D.C. today. He left for D.C. today with his 8th grade class. I never went on a trip like this. Apparently, my town must have been one of few because a lot of people my age or older or younger have done that.
I went to Switzerland and Italy for 10 days on my trip.
The only trip my town did was German, and you had to be German.
Yeah,
you had to class.
This was through the school, and it was for people who were in Latin.
Yeah, so we didn't do that, but the furthest trip we went was Riverside Park, which is now
Six Flags.
Six Flags in Agawam, which is western state of Massachusetts.
It's like 2 hours from
here. That's, I think, the furthest we ever went. I never went anywhere. The only thing I can think of is if our town offered it, my mother couldn't afford it, which is a possibility because there were 2 of us at the time. It might have been my phone.
What is making that buzzing? It wasn't me.
I'm pretty sure my phone... I don't know. Oh, you know what? My phone's over here. Sorry.
It was you.
Me. Sorry.
Like, what was like a phantom vibrate?
It's funny because I read somewhere, side note, that you have a phantom vibrate in your phone when it's turned off. And I swear to God, when I'm at work, I swear to God, I'm feeling my phone vibrate all the time.
I get a feeling in one of my legs, like it's touching a phone that's vibrating sometimes. And it's like a weird muscle thing. And I'll be like, oh, is my phone vibrating? Oh, no, it's just my leg.
So... Max went off. We got up at 4:45. My day off. I still get up early. 4:45 this morning. And got him off. And the 6 buses from our town with a police escort getting them through the lights. I'm not sure which direction they were taking. And I told him to text me at least once a day to let me know he's okay. And he's already texted me once saying that he saw Wayne's World. And of course, I'm driving and I see the text come through. I'm at a stoplight. I'm like, Wayne's World? I said, where is he driving by that he would have seen Wayne's World? And what the heck is Wayne's World? I'm thinking amusement park.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking movie. And then all of a sudden it dawns on me. I'm like, oh, movie.
You watched a movie on the bus.
Oh, I'm sure they're watching quite a few movies on the bus. It's God, I don't know. How long of a ride is it down there? 6 hours?
It's long.
Because it's 4 for New York.
It's a long way.
I don't think they get in until 6 o'clock and they have dinner. I mean,
they're probably going to make a lot of stops.
His itinerary is quite full. Tonight's the earliest night they have that they go to their room. They check in at 8:30. Every other night is 10:30, 10:45. So tomorrow night, amongst all the stuff that they're doing, they get to go to a baseball game.
Cool.
The next night, they do a dinner cruise on the Potomac.
Cool.
And then the next night, they come home. They come home Friday night at 10:30. Cam will have to pick him up because I'll be going to bed.
That's so exciting.
So I asked him, I said, are you going to miss me? He goes, I'll miss you a little. He was a little nervous. So, I gave him a hug and a kiss in the house. Because God forbid I do it in front of everybody, but he's good. So the other thing is he's got a girlfriend. I don't think it's going to last long.
Oh.
Well, for several different reasons. I've talked to some parents who know who she is, and she's very high maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And he is not a high maintenance type of person. We deal enough with the drama of my youngest son that he does not need that. I don't know. I don't remember what that is.
I thought it was a penis.
Lara gave it to me.
It's tennis balls.
Oh, that's right.
I thought it was a penis. It's very suggestive looking. Wait, that's not it.
What is it? Where is it?
It went in the inside. I all of a sudden I saw it and I was like, what the heck is that?
It's a charm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to detract from your crutches and heartbreaks, but
it's a charm. Yeah, I guess so. It's a tennis canister with 2 tennis balls. This is another bag that our friend Lara made for me. It's got blue fabric and paw prints on the inside, and she put a charm on it. Or maybe I did. I don't even remember.
That's a weird... Do you like tennis?
I don't even remember how that came about. This bag's what, 4+ years old?
Yeah.
I mean, I hardly pull it out, but
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Just all of a sudden I noticed it. I was like, what the heck is that?
I forgot about that. I'm pretty sure she gave it to me because she probably bought it for that reason.
Yeah, she probably thought it was like a joke.
So
sorry.
That's okay. So, yeah, my little, he said he's nervous about the trip, but he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
So this girlfriend is, she's an only child, stereotypical, high maintenance. It's so not going to work because he is so not into high maintenance people. He could barely deal with his brother who's high maintenance. And so they've been texting back and forth. And I told him, he knows right off the bat that I am allowed to read his texts.
Yeah.
And I did, and I don't make a comment. I did ask him when I found out that they were dating. I said, what does that entail for 8th grade? He goes, kissing. I said, what else? He goes, I don't know. I'm like, that's it.
Better just be kissing.
Holding hands, maybe. Maybe going out for an ice cream. But the only reason I don't think it's going to last long is so she was texting him back and forth, and I'm reading some of these, and I'm like, what the heck? She's bored.
Yeah.
Talk to me. And he's like, I'm playing a game. He's 14. His mind frame is so not near to take care of a girl. So she starts texting him 5 o'clock this morning because they're getting ready.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I hope we're on the same bus. And I'm thinking to myself, please don't be on the same bus. Please don't be on the same bus. They're not. thank gosh. And I said to him, I said, she texts an awful lot. And he goes, yeah. He goes, is it bad of me if I tell her that I'm taking a shower? I'll see her when I'm there, even though he's already taken the shower.
Because he doesn't want to text with her.
I said to him, I said, if you need to, use me as an excuse. I've always said to my kids, if you want to get out of something, use me.
Yeah, just say mom.
But my mom doesn't like me texting as much or whatever. And he's like, okay. And I said to him, listen, you're going on a trip. This is once in a lifetime trip with your friends. Don't keep looking at that phone. I hope she doesn't do it either, but it's like, you're too young to be focused on this. If I find that this is interrupting your schoolwork, I'll nip it right in the bud.
Yeah.
I'll be like, this is Max's mom. Do you need to
text
please
him
stop texting him for a while? He's got a report due or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, this is so...
Yeah. So, my crush and heartbreak, is that my daughter went to the movies with a boy this weekend.
Hey, Max. You can trust a kid with Max.
I know. He's a good kid. My daughter's just going to turn 12. They are not boyfriend and girlfriend. They are just friends. This is what she tells us. I don't know.
Too young for a boy.
I think at that age.
I'm not even crazy about...
at that age, I just think that, yeah.
Well,
I know that there are kids that kiss each other at the dance and stuff at that age, which I was like, what?
Well, I was talking to some adults, and I wish I had talked to them first, because I should have saying, not until you're 16, because really 14's too young to be dating.
I don't know. I went on dates when I was 14, but I had to go on
chaperone dates.
Like, I was not allowed to go on a one-on-one car date until I was older than 16, until I was 16. Or older. But I was allowed to go on a group date where there were like a bunch of people and where a parent drove and picked up. And, like it was like I would go to the movies with a boyfriend or whatever. And there was not a lot going on at that, even at that age.
But see, nowadays it's so much different. And she's asked for a selfie from him. And I said to him, I'm like, do not send anything. I'm like,
face.
Always remember, Mama's going to check this. And do not do anything that you would think you would be embarrassed with Mom finding out.
That's my whole thing with my daughter is do not put anything on this phone that you do not want me to see, because I check her phone constantly. And that's how I know she and Max really are just friends. They have a lot in common. They like the same manga comic books, and they like to draw cartoons, and they're like the same people, only he's a boy and she's a girl.
Right.
And she has a group of friends. They're all friends together. But she's really close with him and, like, this girl who's been her best friend since kindergarten. So, anyway, she asked if she could go to the movies with him on Saturday. He told her that his family had an extra ticket. I'm like, maybe that's true. I don't know. But I said, who's going with you? And it was the mom, the dad, the brother, Max, Lily, and a friend of the family. So it was like a group. Movie? They went to see Tomorrowland or Futureland or whatever that is. And so I was like, all right. And then they came to pick her up. So I met Max's father, his stepfather, and talked with him for a while. And he asked if it would be all right if they could get dinner afterwards. And I was like, we gave Lily some money, so, whatever. So they went to the movie, and then the whole group went out to dinner, and then they brought Lily home, and I spoke with Max's dad again. I met Max. I had not met him yet. I'd seen a picture of him because we teased her that he wasn't real because she doesn't want to talk about him. It turns out she's been getting teased at school. Everyone says they're boyfriend and girlfriend, and I guess she's really sensitive about that, so... but anyway, he's a great kid. He's the kind of kid that I want her to be friends with. But it is weird that she's at an age where she could go to the movies with a boy, even if it's just completely innocent. It's just weird.
It is. It's a big adjustment. And, I told my son, I said to him, listen, you're 14. You have your whole life ahead of you. Don't rush into things. Don't feel that this is your... person that you need to be with because you're 14.
Yeah. And it's just, she's like, he's just my friend. It's not like that, you know.
Good.
And I'm like, all right, that's perfect because you were just way too young to have a boyfriend, even though I know there are girls in her grade that none of her close friends are this way, but there are some girls that are always dating somebody.
Wow, that's what I found out this one is.
Yeah.
Always dating someone, they don't last long. She's very high maintenance. I'm like...
It's just, I don't know. I just don't want my daughter to be doing that too young.
No, there's no need for it. Again, they're 14 and 12. They have their whole life.
I know.
And I'm not saying that you can't find your forever person in your own hometown.
But don't just be doing it because all the other kids are doing it. That's the thing.
That's what you see a lot.
Yeah. So it just was like a sign to me, like, oh, this is starting now. You know, like.
Welcome to the club.
So, yeah, that's starting. And that was a crush, but it's a heartbreak, but it's also a crush that she's, you know, she's taking care of herself and she's got good judgment.
Right.
I mean, when I met him, I'm like, you know what? If I had to pick a boy that I wanted her to be friends with, it would be Max. He's a great kid. And so I'm glad, like, he could have picked somebody bad, but I was like, oh my gosh. So at least...
She could be hanging around the bad boy.
Yeah, at least she's picked somebody who's...
No, I understand it. It's hard. I can't even imagine what our parents dealt with. But I think we, as a generation, have a harder time dealing with this because it's so technology involved.
Yeah.
You know, and I've talked to my son, and he doesn't have the phone where he can do too much. He's just got a basic phone. But it's like, you got to be careful about what they text and what they talk about. I've already seen some things on my phone on his phone that I'm like, are you kidding me? It's not appropriate language, and I've told him that. But the fact that he was telling a story of what he had heard of another girl and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it's like, the fact that girl and her boyfriend supposedly either did this or are talking about it.
It's not good.
No, because it's like, you shouldn't even know that stuff. I didn't even know that stuff until like 10 or 15 years ago.
It's different now. But Lily has learned a few hard lessons because I monitor her phone. I found out when she was making crank calls the day after she got her phone. She lost her phone for a week. I found out when she discussed a family issue that we had with a friend that caused a whole bunch of trouble. Like, she was complaining because we punished her for something, but in telling this other friend what she got punished for, it made everything way worse. And I was like, she lost her phone for that too. And I said, there are things that you talk about and things that you don't, and don't be putting anything on here that you would not want me to read. That's like a good guide. If you would be embarrassed or uncomfortable about me looking at this text message, then it's not something you want to put on the internet. Just use me as a guide. And she's stuck to that pretty well. And to give her credit, she gives me her... If I say to her, I want to look at your phone, she hands it right over to me.
Got it back.
So I feel like, we're on top of it.
Yeah, we're trying to be. Max, I feel, has a very good head on his shoulders. He has gone through a lot in his short life in the sense of dealing with issues with his brother. Yeah. Not him himself, but he's seen a lot. So I think he's going to be a smart kid. He's probably more of a mature kid to a certain degree, because he's still immature in a lot of ways, than a lot of kids his age. Again, based on what our family has gone through. Zachary, on the other hand, when he gets of that age, I'm really concerned because he is naive. Yes. Very, very naive. And slightly delayed. And I don't know, watching him grow the next few years is going to be really interesting to see what happens.
It could go a couple of different ways.
It could. And it's, the middle school years, he starts next year. I'm really afraid because
middle school sucks.
He's different in a lot of different ways. Never mind his medical issues. He's got a slight speech impediment because of his hearing loss. He's got other
scars.
The scars he's okay with.
But you know what I mean? He has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but in school, most people are not going to see that.
And he has his glasses and hearing aids.
Yeah.
So that's an obvious...
And the reason I'm concerned about middle school is because most of the kids that he's been around with have known him from day one. now middle school joins both sides. Now our school system,
that's what happens.
They get involved. Probably less traumatic than yours because you have small school.
We have neighborhood schools.
We have 2 districts. That's all we have. So, but you tend to see them with sports. And where he did preschool and kindergarten on the other side of town, he still knows some people that when he sees them, he says hi. So I don't think it would be that bad, but he's in a separate classroom, so he's going to be, I don't want to say picked on. That's not what he's going to be, what's that?
He's just going to stand out.
Yeah, he's going to be standing out anyways.
And that's the way people find their targets. You know, it doesn't necessarily... It just like if something draws their attention, that can be where they're like, oh.
One of, so I didn't realize this until Saturday, but one of Max's soccer friends, his mom substituted for Zachary's teacher on Friday.
Oh.
I said, oh, Mrs. Lund's class, which is a regular classroom. She goes, no, actually, the special ed class. I said, oh, because I didn't know she was capable of substituting for that. And, I'm surprised he didn't tell you. And when I mentioned it to him today, he goes, I wanted it to be a surprise. I said, how is it going to be a surprise? I would never know. It's like,
a surprise.
I'm like, all right, whatever. But she asked me why he's in that classroom.
Yeah.
She goes, he doesn't belong in that classroom. Well, the classroom she sees visually.
Yeah.
She sees some Down syndrome, some other kids with other issues. So physically looking at Zachary, no, he doesn't belong in that classroom. But
No.
that's not all that classroom is. Educationally, he does belong. He's a year behind.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh. So she doesn't, see that. So the kids who are going to see him in middle school are probably going to say the same thing. Why is he there? He doesn't belong. Because unfortunately, kids see visual.
Well, and
he has
more of a hidden disability in that sense.
He does.
And that's harder for people to understand. Yeah. Especially kids, because...
Yeah, so that's where we're concerned. And his likes and dislikes are a little out of the norm for a typical boy. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm not worried about Max. I'm worried about Zachary. You're probably not worried about Lily as much as you are about Jack.
I don't know now.
Yeah, well.
She just, it's just been a bad week. But I'm happy that I got to meet her friend and he turned out to be good. So, Baubles and Bling.
I have one that's on its way.
Woohoo!
It said it was supposed to be delivered yesterday, but UPS lied. The mail system.
The mail lied.
So I'll probably get it either today or tomorrow, but I'll have it next week.
I have a Bauble and Bling. This is my Smart Weigh Zip600 scale.
It's cute.
It is. A helpful viewer told me that if I was looking for a scale to weigh my stuff on, because I have a food scale, but it's kind of a pain with a food scale because it's in the kitchen. So if I want to weigh, I go into the kitchen. I don't like to bring the food scale out in the living room. Plus, the food scale is like this big.
Oh.
This is a pocket-sized scale.
Druggy.
It can weigh down to 1/10 of a gram. It's a drug scale, basically, or a knitter scale. The lid comes off, so you can actually use it as a tray. You don't have to. You don't have to use it as a tray, but you can. It has a nice, backlit screen, so you can see it in all kinds of lights. The lid pops back on, so it covers it, keeps stuff from pressing down on it, and it comes with this handy leatherette carrying case, so that if you wanted to put it in your bag or in a pocket.
Well, that is good for people. I mean, yes, we use it for yarn.
Yeah.
And hopefully not drugs. But even for someone who is trying to watch their weight.
Yeah,
you can bring that to a restaurant.
You could bring this to a restaurant. You could weigh food portions on it if you wanted to. I really like it. It can go right in it's so small. Here's a regular project bag. It can just go right in the project bag. It's tiny. It is difficult, to weigh a skein like this on it. It's really better for weighing a ball of yarn or something that's all together.
You don't think that would work on that?
It's just so big that I think it will be too... Let's find out. You just have to wait for it to zero out.
128 grams.
How many ounces is that?
I don't know.
Oh, whoops.
You just
I
teared it.
Whoops. Tear it again.
There we go, ounces. 4.52?
Oh, well, it was 4.3, but it might be damp because it's humid now.
4.52, no matter how I adjust it or... Yep, no, 4.52. So, you can. It'll fit.
You need the tray. I think it would be hard to use the tray. Use it without the tray.
Absolutely.
Like this ball, of course, I could use it right on the scale. Small enough. But
this, it fit perfect with the...
Yeah, it actually does stay right on it, so it's pretty handy. And it was $12.45 or $12.95 or something on Amazon.
It's a nice little scale.
So it was super cheap. It comes with the batteries already installed. It takes 2 AAA batteries, in case you're wondering. And, you know, this is like the best $13 I've ever spent.
I think I might have to get that.
Yeah,
because there's been many times, well, with my sock thing.
It would be nice to know. And so what I do is I have a lap desk. I bought a lap desk. Remember I said I was going to? I pull this out on my lap desk. I'm knitting. I get to a point where I want to weigh the thing. It's like right sitting next to me, and I put it away and I keep knitting, and I don't have to keep getting up and going to the kitchen, or, you know, I can just do it right on my...
I mean, for me, because I knit in various places, to have a scale like that where if I'm knitting at work, I don't have to say, oh, I got to put this down because I don't know.
Because I might go over. Dunkin' Donuts, man. Although I was a little nervous using it in public because we just have to be...
drug factor.
We just have to be honest about it. This scale is what drug dealers use to weigh out the stuff that they're selling to their customers. The only people that really use a scale like this are knitters and drug dealers. And everyone on Instagram was telling me I'm going to get some interesting recommendations for things like rolling papers now that I've ordered this on Amazon. And the funny thing was, my friend Diane and I saw a woman smoking meth when we went to Northampton.
Oh.
Well, we didn't know at first what it was. So then as we were driving home, my friend was looking up on her phone to try to figure out what it was. And she was like right in the parking lot in broad daylight.
Wow, that's scary.
It was pretty scary. And it turns out there was a website called tweakers.org that we went on. Well, she went on her phone. And so, you know, when we looked up some stuff about how you do, because we were like, do you smoke meth? This is us. We're like completely no knowledge about drug use. I was like, I don't think you can smoke it. Well, it turns out you can. There's a lot of different ways you can use it. But anyways, I was telling her it's a good thing that I didn't go on my internet for tweakers.org and then buy this scale, because then I'd be on some kind of a watch list.
You would have been flagged so bad.
So, I don't know. I just think it's funny.
That
drug dealers and knitters.
And die-hard food.
I guess if you were dieting, this would be really handy. That did cross my mind. I'm like, oh, I could weigh like food portions on this. You could. So anyway, I love that scale. That's my only bauble and bling this week. I'm still hoping to get my Acreworks bobbins. I think they're coming soon. So.
Did you see Polly got an Acreworks spindle?
I did.
I have to admit, Polly knits. I hope you're watching this. You spin good on that spindle.
Mm-hmm.
He showed an update afterwards. I don't know if you saw that. Damn, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the time or the inclination for it. But good for you. Looks nice. Nice spindle.
Gossip and innuendo. Let's announce the winner.
I know. So, for the May knit-along of green, the winner was number 17, randomnumber.org. Give Me Cake, or Emerald is her name in the...
I think it's funny. Her name was Emerald.
I know, that is kind of funny. She crocheted a Cthulhu, which is
a character from
some sort of sci-fi.
Like an earlier sci-fi type story.
So this is what you win.
Sci-fi.
It is Knit Cozy sock yarn, Elfie from the Hunger Games Yarn Club exclusive twisted sock, 80 superwash BFL, 20% nylon, 400 yards. Really pretty. It reminds me of
it's hard to see.
Pebbles.
It's got
that's
like
a good one.
Pink and a
it's a This right here is pretty true to color.
It's very pretty.
It reminds me of pebbles.
Yeah, it's like very beachy.
Beach pebbles.
Yeah.
It's got coral,
kind
light
of
purple,
a
lavender.
grayish brown.
I don't see brown.
I see this as brown right here.
No, that's lavender to me. But
let me see.
Anyways.
Oh, it is. Now that I see it.
PM me with your name and address.
You can get this.
And I will send this out next week, hopefully.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm all caught up on sending things out, so let me know.
Alrighty then. Fiber Frolic is this weekend. I am pretty sure Lisa asked if I wanted to go with her, and I was like, I want to hang out with Lisa, and I kind of want to see Lois because I really miss her, but I just, too much is going on with the ballet thing.
Oh, yeah.
That I just can't. It's too crazy. Like, just this week alone, Lily has two 2-hour rehearsals, a photography session. I have to go up to Peabody and get her brand new tights so that she can wear them with her costume.
Why Peabody?
That's where the store is that we go. There's a really good ballet store in Peabody.
Just curious.
That we get a discount with because it's a long story. I need to go do that. I need to rebuy all of her makeup because she and her friends played with her makeup last year. They do it every year, so I have to rebuy. And then she has the recital, which is like 5 hours on Sunday. And I just feel like by Saturday, I'm going to be burned out.
Yeah.
I'm already burned out. I'm already burned out. It's only Tuesday. So, yeah, I'm not going to Fiber Frolic this year. Maybe another year. I just went to 5 fiber festivals. I just don't see myself going to a 6th one. I just can't. Cannot. So, I feel bad, but I'm going to try to see Lois. I don't have to go to a fiber festival to see Lois. I can just go see her. So, maybe we could meet her in Portland or something.
Yeah, because I'm working this weekend, but I have next weekend off. I switch weekends. So, working this weekend, have next weekend off, and then I'm working the regular
Next weekend is Worldwide Knit in Public Day.
Well, we can always go up to Portland to knit in
public.
public.
We could do that with Lois.
Yeah. Just a thought.
I got to see if she wants to do that because that would be so fun. Portland, the harbor area in Portland is so fun and cute with tons of shops and restaurants, and it's a fun. My mom and I went up there a few weeks ago with her friend, and we had the best day.
Oh, good.
So we might want to do something like that. That's a fun day trip. So
Sounds
anyway, that's all we got. It was a lot today.
We rambled.
We did.
I rambled.
I might have to weed out some of the rambling.
Sorry, guys. We do apologize. Thank you for watching us, though.
Yes.
Have a good week and knit with heart.
Bye.